with you about businesses, but they never tell you all the struggle. You know, people talk about, yeah, you have to invest, you have to save money, you have to do this, you have to do that. But they don't tell you about those days when you don't want to get up. Those days when you lost someone you loved, your loved ones, and you can't get up to do what you need to do, either in business or at work. So that first year when I was here, and to give you a little more of history, I am an electrical engineer. That's my career from my country. Then I went to get a master's degree in administration and marketing. And then I went back to Venezuela. So Venezuela was horrible, so I was like, I need to do something because I cannot stay here. So with all those degrees and all that experience, I have to come here to start from zero, not knowing anything. I don't have family here, so it was very, very hard for me. I remember, and this is probably the first time I'd say this publicly, but I don't have any, there's no other reason why I am where I am now. So I remember one day that I only had, when I came here, I had a friend who said, just stay with me, I'll help you. And I believed it, and I came. I didn't know anything, how things were working here. So I stayed at her place, and after 15 days, she tells me, well, you've been here for 15 days. And I was sleeping on a couch that she found outside or somewhere, right? So I was across the table from her, and she tells me, you've been here for 15 days. Well, our rent is $1,600 divided by 3, which was the husband, her, me. It's this amount of money, and then by 15 days, you owe me this amount of money. So to me, it was like, what? I only had probably $1,500 when I came here. And I remember being there that I was like, how is it that I just got here, I don't have a job, I barely know what to do, what I'm gonna do here, and now I owe $350. So I have very, very rough days. I tell people, all the immigrants from my country, I always say, the first year is hard, but it's the best one. Because when I came here, when you go to business school, everything is about making money, being the CEO of a big company. It's not really on the human side, on your personal side, on your spiritual side. So when I came here, I was like, I never cleaned my bathroom. I never had to do laundry before that. I never had to do any of those things. And that year to me was just like put me like all my feet down. It was like, this is the reality, and this is where you're gonna live now. And to me, I'm grateful because even though it was really, really hard, I am what I am now because of that. I'm so grateful for my family, but I also tell my mom, you spoil me too much. Like, so I have to be 29 when I have to learn all those things. So there was a night that I only had $5 in my account, in my pocket, only 5. And I got so close, so close to lose faith that I remember that night I was like, what am I gonna do? I only have $5. I owe my friends this money. My clothes was in the pantry in the kitchen, and that was the place that I would go and change. And the next day, a friend from Nicaragua, he said, because I asked for help, so he sent me some money. And that to me was like, wow, like there's still people that can help me even if they're not here, because he went to the master's with me. So I always tell people, and then after that, a family from Michigan just told me, just come here, stay here for a few days, so at least your friend doesn't charge you per day staying over there. And they're very religious, and they were every day reading the Bible. I'm Catholic, so we do things different. So to me, that was like eye-opening, because I was like, oh, I didn't know you can treat the Bible like a book. You know, I was like, in my house, the Bible is open on a table, and you cannot touch it. The Bible cannot touch the floor, nothing. You cannot scratch it, nothing. So to me, when I saw them like taking the Bible like a book, I'm like, that's so disrespectful. Why are you doing that? And that was so like eye-opening to me because it was like, okay, now I see other religions, like I see the world in a different way, and I can judge by myself and not by like what I've been told all my life. But it was because of that how I started like recovering that faith, because I was like, I always say everything I have, I don't see what I don't have. Obviously I could have more, but I don't see what I don't have. Every time a client comes to me and they pay me a service, I'm always like, thank God. And every time they say no because it was too expensive or they just want to work with me, I still say thank you, because, you know, if it's not this one, it's because there's a better one that's coming. Match your human side with the business side, there's no way that you can be successful. I have to deal with a lot of situations on my own. Like I said, I haven't seen my family since 2016, and it's something really hard. My grandparents died during COVID, and I had to stay up and then not wake up, do my business, because I was running a marketing company. So those things happened, and every time I have a client at the Elkhart Chamber, I always tell them, I'm here for you because I know what it is to be in a very dark place, where your mind is just tricking you, where your mind is just telling you you can't. And I'm always there saying, you can do it because I'll be here. And in this area, I believe South Bend, Mishawaka is an area with a lot of resources for people, a lot of mentors that can be there for you. So with all that story, that's the story about me. Sorry that if it was too long. Now, like women in business, can you raise your hand, like the people that have businesses? Okay. Somebody that has a hobby that probably could turn that into a business, like pastries or sewing, but it's not a business yet. Okay. So I want to tell you this because even though if you're not in a business, but you know someone that is, and that they need help, it's always important to be prepared. And then not only like what I'm going to talk about, just also on your faith and your strength and in your personal life, because one cannot work with the other one. Now, women in business, it's rising. We see more and more women entrepreneurs, more and more women saying, "I can do it. I'll do this," and they start something that they love. My husband tells me, "Why don't you find a job?" I'm like, because I love what I do. I do what I do at the Elkhart Chamber because they couldn't find someone that was bilingual, and I was doing this as a volunteer. So they found me through a connection, and I said, well, I mean, if I already do this for other programs, I can do it for the Elkhart Chamber. So every time he tells me, just like, find a job, like 9 to 5, so you don't stress, you don't have to get up super early or go to bed super late, I always tell them, I would never trade this because I love what I do. I love my clients. I love every person that comes for help because I love to help. I love to give. Giving, it just gets me so much joy because I'm giving something back that I feel that if I have all this knowledge, why not? Why not sharing it? And now probably half of the people, I have been in Elkhart for 4 months. So half of the people that I see, it's women. And every time they come, it's so super exciting because women are super creative. Like women in our community, they're more and more creative. And there's so many programs now to help women in financial areas. If you want to start a business, there's so many programs now in the community. So here are some numbers that I'm not going to get into detail, but like 40% of businesses are women-owned. Now if you're a business owner and you're a minority certified or women certified business, you can get even like federal contracts. Like you can get contracts that you couldn't get before because those programs were in there. But it's important to work like your mindset. It's very important to When that's right, your business is gonna go. Your business is gonna go well. And I can tell in my own experience. I remember in 2021, I realized I was afraid of money. I was making enough money to survive, like a salary. So I was making enough money where I was comfortable. I was single, so I only have to send money to my family and just for me, and I got comfortable. And then one day, like from one day to the next, I lost a client, and that client meant half of the income that I was getting. Like one day he would say, "Oh, I need these designs," and then the next day I'm like, "Okay, here are the designs for you," and then he would be, "Oh, I'm not working there anymore," and that was the person that was connecting me with the organization. So to me, it was like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to find a client that would give me $3,000 per month just like overnight. So that was a lesson. I have to do consulting in another state because that was the opportunity I had. And then I realized I was afraid of making money. I got too comfortable. And if you're using the money for good, I started believing like, if I can make more money, I can help my mom, I can help my family way more than what I'm doing right now. And I started working on that. Why was so afraid of making money? And also, it goes back to the limiting beliefs and then the way I was raised. So every time you have an idea, and even in your business, you have to talk with yourself and kind of like go inside and think, why is it that you're afraid of? It doesn't need to be money, but like you're afraid of. Some people are afraid of success. Some people are afraid of like they think they don't know what they know, like the imposter syndrome, and that happens like to each of us. Like being in business is hard, but it's a different hard for every person. Like my story might not be your story, but your story is as valid as mine is. So we have to understand that these are things we need to take into consideration, like resilience. We especially women, we women know how to be resilient, would be the word? Okay, so thank you. And I always say people that are coming to this country and they face another reality, this is something that is, I don't know, it's a keychain that you have there, that you have, that you have in you. And that works in businesses because it goes ups and downs. Some days are good, some days are bad, some months are great, some months are horrible, and that's what it is. But as long as you're aware, and as long as you keep your mind in your goal, and you trust that you're gonna reach what you need and what you want for your business, those things, those changes won't matter. That's just gonna be noise for you. Adaptability. Well, when COVID happened, a lot of businesses shut down, a lot of businesses have to close, a lot of businesses have to change. And now we do businesses in a different way. A lot of you go shop online more than you used to do before. A lot of you go connect on Zoom. That's something that I didn't know anything about it before COVID. So we always have to adapt to what's happening, without losing ourselves in the process. Risk tolerance. Yeah, sometimes there are businesses, there are clients that, probably what you're gonna do, it's risky. Not like when we do investments, for example, or when we take a loan to grow our business, it might seem risky because you start thinking like, how am I going to pay this? And that is why it's important to plan it and to have a good and strong business plan. Goal orientation, like I mentioned before, as long as you have what's your goal, and the goal cannot be, I always say, the goal is not money. There's always something that drives you and that moves you to do or to run your business, and it's more than money. Money will come, but if you say, well, I want to start selling this because I want to make money, it's most likely that at some point you're going to get tired or bored of it because there's no passion on it. But if you say, because I love what I do. And if you say, I love to make cakes and I love and make people happy because I like to just see how when they go happy to the parties and they take the pictures, that's too different. The money is going to come next to it. But you always have to find what is the thing that drives you, because that is the thing that also it's going to keep your business alive. Well, persistence, self-discipline, this is a hard one, because when you're your own boss, it's kind of like, sometimes I say, it's fine, I'm not going to get up early because I can stay up late, but then that cost, then I'm tired the next day. So this is very important. And sometimes it's good to have a friend or a mentor that can hold you accountable. So you start building that discipline. My dad was very strict, so I have it since I was little. And the other one would be networking and relationship building. That to me, it's huge. I wouldn't be here if I didn't, when I came, I always had in my mind the first time I got here, I'm gonna connect with people. And I'm gonna, first I didn't speak English, so I could order something at a restaurant, but that was it. So my first thing was like, now that I'm here, at least I'm gonna start learning English. And I didn't speak with any person that would speak Spanish. I forced myself to speak with people that only speak English. And that to me, I spoke with so many people from different countries, and I started just like making my mind adjust to that sound. I would watch TV with captions in English, everything. I did all that the first year. So, and I used to be, 2 years ago, I used to go to a meeting or a talk, and I used to be, I'm sorry for my English. I'm sorry for my English, but I'm going to say this. I'm sorry for my English. Every time now I want to think about it, I remember all those times, and I would apologize every time for my accent or my English. Now, I'm like, I don't care. It's just like, I know 2 languages. So, but what I mean with this is I always have that in my mind and never gave up. When I knew, I said, for like a year probably, I would say triangle. And I was babysitting a girl, and I would tell her, oh, that triangle. And one person says, you know it's triangle, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then 5 seconds, I'm like, no, I cannot believe I've been saying this to this girl for a year, and it's triangle. Oh, geez, I cannot believe it. So, I like now it's great and it's amazing to be here. You are giving me more than whatever I'm giving you today, because being able to do this, I know my mama, it's proud every time I say it, even though she cannot see me now. But it's great to see you and everything, every story that I have heard. So I'm not gonna cry. So when you have a business, and this is what I tell people at the chamber. Every time they come to me, I say, I'm not gonna be your mom, because that way you're not gonna learn. But I'm gonna be with you, like it's step by step, so I can help you. So when you have a business, this is the way that happens. You have some money, you like to do something, or you're very good at something, and you get your LLC and you start the business. So the problem with that, and it's good, like a lot of people start that way and they do it that way. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so, but I always tell them, if you don't know where you're going, if you're driving and you're like this, how do you know where you're going? If you don't know the directions and you don't have a GPS, how do you know where you're going? It's the same thing with the business plan. The business plan is something, number one, that the owner of the business is the person that has to do it, because nobody knows better about your business or your idea than you. Nobody. Nobody's going to know. I know a lot about business, but I'm not going to know better than you about your business, because it's coming from you. It's your idea. It's what drives you to do what you're doing. So, but this is the directions that your company or your business is going to take. So the more prepared you are, and it's something like people are scared of business plans because it's tedious. but it's something that it's not really, nobody wants to sit down after they start the business because they have kids, they have chores to do, they have everything. They're so busy that they don't have time to do this. But by doing this, you will realize that having this under control, having your business under control will help you on those times when you're like, I'm too busy because I don't know, I cannot pay my suppliers this week and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you do your business, that's when I tell them, if you would do your first business plan, you would go to the financials and you would know why that week you're not paying that person. I had a client that she came and she said, I don't know what's going on because the money's coming in and the money's going out, and there's nothing in my pockets. Nothing is staying there. And I'm surviving just because my husband has a job. So I'm like, then why are you in business? I mean, we need to see what's happening because having a business is not supposed to be it's not supposed to be just a hobby and then just still just depending on somebody else because you don't know what's going on. So that person really didn't come back. I guess she was afraid or scared to do the work. And to me, it was just like alarming because I said, if I had a business and the money's coming in, but it's getting out and there's nothing that's staying, that's a problem. So the main parts of the business plan, it's what is your company? And when I say what is your company, it's not just, oh, my company, I own a company that cleans houses. No, it's when an investor or somebody, you never know who's listening, you never know who's going to be there reading and checking what your idea is or your business is. So this is very important because investors or people that you're going to ask loans, they're going to see it and they're going to see in those words the love that you have for what you do. It's not the same as saying, just clean houses. It's not that's not the same as saying, I love taking care of homes while moms are busy with kids or at work. So you're starting at giving meaning something as simple as cleaning a house, for example. There's the market analysis. I have clients when I tell them, this is simply just investigating if your business it's gonna be if you can run the business in the area that you want to run it. Some people have great ideas, but then probably in Indiana it's very hard and it's not really possible. So we have kind of like to walk with them to how we can adjust that idea and make it possible. When you do a market, it's great to have ideas, and we all have ideas. That doesn't mean that we are going to be able to put them to make them reality. So when you do a market analysis, that means, well, if I'm going to sell tacos, then I'm going to see how many Mexican restaurants are in the area, right? If you open a restaurant, the taco restaurant, next to another one, most likely, you're going to have some challenges that if you do the research and just find out that, in another area, there's more chance there's traffic. So by doing this research, which is very simple because there are also free resources here in Mishawaka and South Bend, you can at least see if your idea is something that can be possible. Because sometimes we're so excited when I have had so many ideas. I have been an esthetician in my mind. I have been a person that has a coffee shop and with the library. I have all these amazing ideas, but then it's like, okay, I need to sit down to see what can I make reality. You need to have a marketing plan. Why? Because the first thing that businesses do is cutting on the marketing budget. That's the first thing. And I always tell people, you need to budget from the business card that you have to the pen that you have with your logo to the website, everything that you spend on your business that goes in the marketing plan. And this is another thing that happens. People will be like, well, I sell these stickers. Who are your customers? And some people would say, everybody that likes stickers are my customers. And that's when that's the first mistake, because the better you know who your customer is, the better you know who you're selling, what you're selling, sorry, the more you know who you're selling, what you're selling, the better, because that way, the money that the money, whatever, it doesn't matter how much it is, whatever you have to spend is going to be well spent instead of just shooting money, just like, oh, I'm going to do radio and I'm going to do TV and I'm going to do social media, I'm going to do a website without knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes, and I had clients that they would be like, I'm going to be on radio. I'm like, are your customers listening to radio? No, okay. Then no, don't do it. Or I'm going to be on TikTok. I'm like, if you're a local business, why would you be on TikTok when, that's global? That's probably you're not going to waste money, but you're going to waste time. And for a business person, time is money. So by doing that, by knowing who you're selling, that's going to give you better ideas, the way you're going to talk, the way your business is going to talk to your audience. Then organization and management, just talk about if you need employees, how you're gonna manage them, and all that like funny things. And then the financials, which is that's a part that I think a lot of people have fear or afraid of, but it's really an easy part because there's a lot of people that can help you with it. So the marketing and branding, it's very important because people would say you are your business, and I would say you are the first ambassador of your business. So you need to your business had to reflect your beliefs, what you love, like everything that you are. There cannot be like, oh, I'm one person on social media, but then on my private life, I'm a different way. Because that's part of your branding. That's part of what you, like, if people see me always at parties, they would be like, okay, there's something that's not matching here with what I'm selling. So it's very, very important how you do your personal branding and the branding for your business, because they both should go like on the same line. They cannot be opposite. They can be. So when you think, if you have an idea or you know someone that's acting in a different way as the business should be, then you kind of have to tell them like, hey, you're projecting this, because that also, it's gonna not help you attract customers. That's gonna be like, people buy because of what they feel. People will pay you whatever you're charging if they have that connection with you, if they have the same beliefs, they have sometimes you go to a restaurant and it doesn't matter how much you pay because you are connected with their restaurant. And there can be another one offering the same thing and you won't pay that price because you want to go there. The same thing happened with businesses. So the better you work on your personal brand, or on your brand, personal brand, it's going to be better for your business, because people are going to buy from you, people are going to come to you. And how many times haven't you gone back to a store when you become friends with the person at the store, or they say hi to you and you love going there because of the way they treat you? So this is very important in business. I already talked about mentorship, networking and mentorship. So the mentorship, I will give you, at the end, I will give you some resources that are in the area. I invite you to take a picture of it because there's a lot. There's, if you know someone that's in business or want to do a business, it's not just me. There's people that can help you with market research. There's people there are organizations that can help you with mentorship in every area, like legal, financials, like every area in the country that you can connect online. So that's always, sometimes in businesses, we are we don't see the big picture. And it's good to have a mentor because he would see on the outside what's happening that you're not seeing. And that talk would help you realize, oh, I've been doing this wrong, I can do it better. So it's always good. I wish when I started I had more mentors, like I really didn't know about it. Now that I know all these resources are available, I'm always like, I sit down and say, like when you said that about gossip, I always tell my friends, it's like, I want to have like smart conversations, like conversations that they would challenge me. I don't want to just gossip about stuff. I don't want to. And then that's what, when you have a mentor, it's just amazing how they challenge you and how they can help you be more creative on whatever struggle, whatever you're dealing about your business. So here, on the work-life balance, this is so important. Like it happened to me. My business has been great this year, but I work a lot. Like when I started the chamber, I didn't have a lot of clients, so I was like, yeah, why not? I can do it. Now it's like, oh, how am I going to do it? Because I don't live here. I live in Valparaiso, so I have to come here and then go back those days that I'm here. But every time I come, it's like I never complain. And like I say, like it's the first time in a job that I would say like, oh yeah, I'm going there, and I have to get up earlier. To me, it's earlier because of the time change. So it's like I have to get up at 4, and I'm not really a morning person. But it is very important that you have your spiritual side well fed, your personal side well fed, and your business side well fed. Because if one is going great, it should be going great because the other ones are doing great. It's not, and I'm a true believer. I say there's some things that I don't understand sometimes, but the only answer I can say is like, this is God that's with me right now. Every time I drive and I go back home, I'm always like, God is with me, God is here. And it's just amazing how I can feel that every step I have taken since I got here, He never abandoned me. And even though I was almost like close to be like, I'm done, I didn't do it. And I'm so grateful. When you live without thinking what you don't have and thinking of being grateful about everything. The first night that I slept on a bed was an air mattress. Like after that couch, that was horrible. It was an air mattress. It cost me $18 at Walmart. And I remember that night because I guess that's the first time I felt that I was grateful for something, but deeply, deeply grateful. And I remember I was like sleeping there, and one of the things, I used to hate them. I would tell my mom, I'm not going to sleep on that thing, that's horrible. And I remember I said, thank you, God, because I feel I'm sleeping on a hotel bed. And after that moment, I even told my mom, like, I apologized to her, and I said, Mom, I'm sorry for all the times that you were cleaning the house and we didn't keep it like clean, or that I really didn't care about you going to work and coming back to cook and all that stuff. So that's why I'm so grateful for that year, even though it has been the hardest, because it gave me that side that I don't think I would be here if I didn't have that time. So every time, just be grateful. If a person says no, it's okay. There's another person that's coming. Every time you're grateful for something, you're giving more room to new things, to amazing things. And I can tell you because I have had times when my account is in red, and I'm like, things are going to be fine. And amazingly, things get better. My sister would complain always about, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money. I'm like, you're not going to have money. If your mind is just thinking about the money that you don't have, she had 2 jobs, and then I still don't have money. I'm like, how is all that you don't have money? Do you have 2 jobs? And then so she went back to one job, and like, I still don't have money. I'm like, there's something. So that's when I realized, I have had times when I don't have money, but I don't really think it's like, oh, I don't have money. I'm just know things are going to get better, things are going to change, and then they happen. So the only reason I can give to that is that God is always with me, and He's always there. So and sometimes when I talk about this, like especially at the chamber, people would look at me like, but I'm like, well, like, I don't care, because I know it happened to me, and it has happened, and I'm happy to share that with whoever, because I know if I did it, and if I could, every person can. So yeah, just keep feeding that and be always grateful. There's no, to me, there is no other way for everything, for the morning, for being here, for a client that comes to you, for the food that you were able to eat. It's just, That's in your life, you always are gonna feel whole, and then the other things are gonna happen. At the right time, they're gonna happen. So here are the pictures that if you wanna take a picture of this, these are resources that are in the area, and there's a little explanation of what they are. The first is just resources for businesses, where you can find information about other businesses. The Hustle SBE is a program for entrepreneurs. I think it's like $25, the whole program. The St. Mary's Park Business Accelerator program, it's for women only, and it's a really good program too. The Idea Center and the one at Ivy Tech, it's for college students. And the NIMBA, it's for, now it's for business, minority business owners. And they gather every Friday here. And there's another one. Oh, sorry. Did it move? No. It's not moving. Come on. Okay. Okay. So SCORE, it's an organization that it's nationwide, so you can find free mentors. I'm also a mentor for SCORE, so we offer our time, and it's no cost for you in different areas. If you go to the website, you'll find in any area of businesses, there's a person that's an expert in that area, and they will help you. There's the ISBDC. When you want to do market research, they are the people to go to. That's also free. And then the last one, it would be if you are in the Elkhart County and you need some business advisor for your business, so you can go to that link and then you request help. And I think that's the last one. And that's it. These are my social media, but you can also, I'll leave my business cards there, and I want to pass these stickers to you. It says, good things come to those who support small businesses. So you can share it with your friends, or you can just keep it to yourself. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. I'm sorry if I took too much.